Hey there, welcome and welcome back. Today we're going to jump straight into something a little bit different. We are in the kitchen today. We are not outside, but we are going to cook up a nice Texas chili. Now, first off, I'm going to go ahead and say it right off at the start. Texas chili, no beans. We'll show you what is in it in just a minute. Alright, so starting out, first thing we're going to do is get our food processor out. Obviously you can do this without one, but it's so much easier with one. I'm going to throw in a couple red and a couple white onions. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and throw all this in at once. I also have some charred bell pepper. Now, you don't need to do it like this if you don't want to. You can just use fresh chopped bell pepper if you want to. I like this stuff. I get it frozen, and it's already got some nice kind of charring and smoking on the bell pepper itself. So just adds that little bit of extra to it. Pour all that in there. Make sure that it all fits. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a second while I spin this around so you don't have to listen to it. Be right back. Alright, so we've got that chopped up now. We've got us a pan on the stove. We're going to go ahead and heat that up. And we're going to throw into that pan, starting out, a bit of chopped garlic, good amount of that, can't go wrong with garlic. We're going to throw in there a good amount of chipotle chili paste. Again, can't go wrong with that, especially when you're making a chili. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish off this bottle, or this jar of this. Alright. Let those start sizzling off a little bit. Ooh, that flavor, that scent already. Chili and garlic. And once those are going, we're going to take this that we chopped up. We didn't puree this, we just chopped it up. We're going to throw that in here. Get it all out of our container. And we're going to let all of this cook down, stirring it as we go. We're probably going to give this about 15 to 20 minutes before we do anything else with this part of it. While that's going, I'm going to go ahead and move that to the back burner, and I'll show you our other bit. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, so we've now got our mix that we've already made up on the back burner. We've got that cooking off and smelling gorgeous already. I do wish you could smell that. Now then, I've also now got a pan heating up on the front. Into that pan I'm going to throw a bit of oil. And I have a bunch of beef that I've already diced up. Now you'll notice this is not ground beef. This is cubes of beef. yeah, Texas chili, you want the real stuff. You don't want the ground up stuff. We're going to go ahead and throw that in there. And then if this jar would cooperate with me. There we go. Into here, I'm going to throw just a few chopped jalapenos. I'm even going to splash a little bit of that brine in there just because I can. And yeah, that's just sliced jalapenos, nothing special. And I'll stir that around a bit. Now then, I'm going to basically keep stirring this meat and letting it brown off until the meat is pretty much fully cooked. And that should give us our timing for that back burner to be ready to use as well. So I'll go ahead and jump to when this is finished, because I'm sure you don't want to watch me stand here and stir this for another 20 minutes or so. But that's what I'm going to be doing, so I'll see you afterwards. Okay, we are about 15 minutes in now. The meat is sizzling off nicely, but I want to get a bit more color on it that we're not going to do while it's got all of that fat still in the pan. But we don't want to get rid of all that flavor. So here's what we do now. We're going to take this pan and we're going to pour quite carefully as much of the liquid out of this pan as we can into the other one. As you can see, there's still some liquid in there, but not nearly as much. We're going to throw that back on the heat, and we're going to stir all those juices into our onions and all that mix that we've got back here. And now this is going to sizzle off a bit more, and we'll get some of that extra browning that we like. I'm going to go ahead and give this another 5 minutes before we move on. Alright, so that meat is now browned off nicely, looking good, just the way we want it to be. And from there, what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull this one off that burner. Give you a real good look at it there. I'm going to bring this other pot of our onion and bell pepper and all that goodness mix, and you can see if I lift that up, that's been cooking down nicely while we've been doing our beef. And now I'm just going to take this beef, pour it on in there. I'll go ahead and turn off the back burner, and I'm going to give you guys a nice close-up of what's in that pan now. Alright, there we go. We're going to go ahead and stir that meat in. If this gets too dry, it's not right now, but if it does get too dry, you can add a little bit of water to it. But what I'm going to do right now, because I like my Texas chili nice and fiery, I'm going to take some of these lazy chopped red chilies, and I'm just going to throw some extra heat in there with it. Now these you can add later in because they don't need that much cooking off. And at this point, we are still going to leave this a while before we serve it. Now then, how's that looking for chili? Now then, it's starting to dry out a bit on the bottom of the pot. So I'm going to grab just a little bit of water to put in it, and then we're going to leave it on the stove and just let it simmer off for a while. So I'll show you that as soon as I grab that water. Alright, so I've got about a cup of water. I'm going to pour that in. How much water you add to that depends in a lot of cases on how long before you want to serve it. You could serve this almost right away if you really wanted to. But the longer you leave this for, the longer you let it kind of simmer away and get to know each other, the better this is going to taste. So I want to leave this for at least a couple hours. I might even want to leave it overnight and serve it the next day. But adding that cup of water is just going to give it somewhere to keep it wet, allow it to keep kind of churning through that heat. It's going to dissolve off more of that water as it goes and thicken back up. I'm going to just go ahead and put a lid on it. And I'll be back with you in a few hours once it's ready to go. Hey there, we are back. We have left this for about 3 hours now, giving it a good simmer. And this is ready to serve. Now then, just have a look at our resulting chili there. That's some Texas chili for you. I'm going to throw some of this in a bowl. Probably best served with a bit of cornbread on the side. And I'll let you see the final result in just a second. And there you have it, ready to eat, nice and fiery. Okay, so yeah, I've showed you how to make some Texas chili now. I'm going to enjoy some of it, but I will tell you, yeah, like I said, this is going to be hot. Those chunks of meat, incredibly tender, incredibly juicy still, falling apart as they hit your mouth, and just releasing bursts of flavor and heat. Honestly, yeah, I eat other kinds of chili with beans and all of that in it, but try a Texas chili sometimes. No tomato, no beans, just meat and chili and flavor. I'm going to go have some more of this. You guys, comment below, please, like, subscribe, help out the channel if you can, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.